Hey there guys, this is Ruby Pheonix and I'm going to talk about the top 10 things that I hate about horse riding tales. Number 10. The prizes available in the 4-hour and 10-minute chess. Yay! A free stable! Oh look, awesome! A rare horse! Oh come on, how hard is this game? Can you give away things that loyal players want? Is there any way chess can be programmed differently for VIP or high-level characters? When you give me a skewbald, you aren't giving me a horse so much as you are giving me an errand to go sell this horse. I appreciate it. I think that this is a great idea for lower level players, for people under level 25. I mean, you want a horse, you want it now, you want it quick, you don't want to have to spend any orbs on it. Great. But I'm level 40. You're just giving me more things to do. So when I log on, now I have to go sell all this stuff that I've gotten. And sometimes it just gets out of control. I had at one point, I think, almost every single stable or every single space filled up with horses that the game gave me. And I was like, oh god, I'm gonna go sell all this crap. Number 9. No levels higher than 40. Still. I've been level 40 since 2019. And there are still no new quests. They've been promising this for a while, and I know that they've taken time to do other things. They've released new horses, they've put different trial games, like little side quests and stuff like that that you can do in-game. They've expanded the game itself a lot, they've added islands. I've lost track of all the things that they've been doing and promising, and they still haven't moved us up past level 40. Look guys, level 40 itself can be fairly difficult to get to, but getting to level 30 is not too terribly difficult as long as you play and you're consistent. If you're in a club, it can be a lot more difficult because let's face it, if you're in a club, you're not leveling up. So you have to commit to getting club points. Your leveling up days are done. Number 8, gems. Yep, I'm going there. It's too expensive to buy gems for this game. It is insanely expensive, and for what you get, you basically just get an opportunity to take a chance that maybe possibly you might I don't know, get a mythic horse. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to go spend $20, I want the horse that I want. I don't want to take a gamble. I want that horse. I want this horse. I don't know, I don't care, I want a half Arabian, but if I'm going to spend money on it, I want to pick the horse that I want. And this kind of goes into another issue that I have with the game about not being able to pick horses that you want to buy. But to top it all off, you have to buy a ton of gems. If you want really great fantasy horses, you're going to have to buy a ton of gems. If you want VIP and all the perks that come with that, you're going to have to buy a ton of gems. It's going to get really expensive if you start putting money into this game, and it is ridiculous. I kind of wonder sometimes how much Voxy really makes off of players who play this game, because to really get the really great fantasy horses that nobody else has, you're going to spend a lot of money. Number 7, limited number of stabled hands available for VIP players. This was very frustrating. Combine this with the fact that all great horses involve spending tons of money, and it's a recipe for disaster. You can be very picky with the horses. You can assign stable hands, use all 8, and before you know it, new horses are available and you want to change which horses have stable hands. Well, you can't change them if you sell them. That's right, if you want to take stable hand off of a horse and use it on another horse, you must first sell that horse with the stable hand. That's the only way to remove the stable hand. Sucks. Number 6, boredom. You will get bored. I got really bored back in 2020 when I got VIP. I suddenly realized how easy the game was because VIP took out all of the hard work. It's always cool to sort of unlock certain cheat codes or to find hidden surprises in a game, but VIP makes the game so ridiculously easy that it gets boring. There's going to be times where you're just so bored out of your mind that you can't even think about playing the game anymore. You don't want to ride another dressage competition. You don't want to catch another horse. You don't want to mine not one more little ounce of cotton. And you're going to kick something if you see another pile of amber over in the fantasy section. You will get bored. Number 5, constant connective issues. This used to be a lot worse, but there are still many times when the game will randomly reconnect. And this tends to happen after spending tickets to race, causing you to not race and lose tickets. Or it will happen after opening a chest, causing you to be left wondering if you even get anything at all. I have 321,000 ambers. I'm not going to notice if I don't get 72 more, but I want them all anyway. And this glitch is very annoying. And this can happen. I've heard this happen when you're riding draft horses, when you have North and if you have too many pets out, you're in the middle of a social quest and people are talking. If you have the chat on, sometimes the connection will drop. The connection is just always dropping. And I know it's not my connection. I'm on fiber. I know a lot of people have complained about this quite a bit. It doesn't take much to disturb the connection. It's almost as if there's too much going on for the connection, and if you're not like running like 5G or fiber, it's likely that you're going to have issues doing even the smallest tasks in this game. You're not going to be able to set the view distance high enough, the quality is going to be low, and you're just going to end up with grainy looking, weird, strange horses that you can't even really enjoy in a game that you don't even like playing. So the reconnective issues are a problem. They're a huge problem, and that's why they're number 5 on the top 10 things that I hate. Number 4 is that there are not enough tameable horses, and that every horse below fantasy should be tameable, and they're not. Now I kind of want to jump into this for a minute. I'm not going to take too much time, but I honestly believe that every horse below the level of fantasy should be tameable, and quite a few fantasy horses should be tameable. I think that they should reserve their favorites, their most special, for ones that you can buy outright with gems. And when I mean buy outright with gems, I mean buy outright with gems. I'm not saying open some chests and take some gamble and maybe possibly get a horse. I mean buy outright with gems. You should be able to get gems and pay for the horse that you want. And most, if not hardly all, horses should be tameable. I think that this will encourage more gameplay. This will cut down a lot of frustration, and this will get rid of that random chest crap. Save that stuff for Sunday evening club openings and let people buy and tame the horses that they want. Number 3, the new draft horses. I love draft horses. My favorite horses are always going to be the draft horses. The Clydesdale, the Shire, the Percheron, the Frisian. Hard-working, really beautiful, massive horses. I love them. So what's bad about having a draft horse in the coolest horse in game ever? Well, the fact that you can't ride it, for one. It looks like your player is air humping every time they ride this horse. They will drift over to the right or to the left, like drastically, anytime that you make a change in direction. And it looks like you're humping your horse if you have a flying one. You go flying with a draft horse, and it looks like you just getting busy on the back of a horse. And it's so distracting. And another reason that this is number 3 is because I've actually questioned a lot of people on this, and apparently, I haven't had this issue, but apparently, if you're riding your draft horse, your phone will, or your tablet or your phone or whatever you're using, will crash a lot. And this is not an uncommon problem. I had so many people telling me, hey, I love draft horses. I wish I had one, but every time I ride mine, the game crashes. So that's why having a draft horse is number 3. Number 2 is mining. Mining is probably the single most important thing that you can do in this game if you want to gain levels. If you want to get club points, it's probably the single most useless thing that you can do. In fact, we call mining collecting shrapnel points. But if you are a lower level, you're trying to get up there.
You want to go get that fantasy aqua that you saw over by the castle?
Well, then you've got to mine. I'm sorry, you have to. And it's boring, it's long, it's tedious, it's monotonous, it never ends, and you're constantly having to waste your resources on tack that you don't want or to shoe horses that aren't even yours. That's why, to me, mining is number 2. It's probably one of the most frustrating things that all of us have to do in this game. And if you are trying to get up there in levels, you're gonna have to mine, and you're gonna have to mine a lot. And I'm so sorry about that. Number 1 is getting north. Okay, it's no surprise that the best horse in the game is also the hardest to obtain, but north is ridiculously hard. Getting north requires you to have 1 pet at level 100 and 2 pets at level 50. And it may seem obtainable when you have a pet below level 50, but leveling up a pet past level 50 sucks. It's either expensive and tedious, or expensive, tedious, and frustrating. Getting north can be worth it, so worth it. But ultimately, north at its highest level, and my north is at level 1001, is only 1 racing point better than a regular fantasy. And all of that just for 1 extra racing point. Anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please click like, share, and subscribe.